Good afternoon. This is Joe Moser for SuccessProgress.com. Thanks for stopping by. It's our goal to provide relevant, meaningful content to our user community. Today we're going to profile Better, a surgeon's notes on performance written by Atul Gawande. Dr. Gawande is an excellent author. Anytime I can learn from a Harvard graduate, then I'll spend the time on it. Better talks about certain simplistic conclusions from complex problems. Being a positive deviant is how Dr. Gawande characterizes being successful and making progress in medicine or any endeavor. Why is this important to me? Inevitably, you'll come across complex issues in your life. Taking a diligent approach to solving these issues will usually result in simple solutions. Better talks about how to do that. What does it take to be good at something which failure is so easy, so effortless? Dr. Gawande tells a story of one of his patients that was admitted under his care when he was in med school. The patient was stable and needed to be put under observation. She complained of insomnia and sweats the night before. The senior resident told him to keep a close eye on her, and he agreed to see her midday. That one simple assumption almost cost the patient her life. The senior resident checked on her first, and she had a fever and needed to be put into the ICU. She lived and was sent home a few days later. The point of the story is that a simple assumption to check on the patient in a couple hours could have cost her her life. One simple thing to do separates life and death. Better is broken down into three main parts, which I'll touch on briefly, and we'll talk about Dr. Gawande's recommendations for being a positive deviant. Number one, diligence. Each year, 2 million Americans acquire an infection in the hospital, and 90,000 die from that infection. Infections are complex as you can get. Where do they come from? How did it happen? When did it start? What type is it? All these questions are valid and part of the complex puzzle. After much study, the proper solution is washing your hands. Now there's a strict procedure that doctors should follow. The key word here is should, and most don't. There are little improvements that make huge differences that are profiled in this book. Here's a simple example. The nurses in the operating room would routinely run out of supplies and have to go and get more. Thus, they leave the room and come back in. Simple solution, make sure the supplies are fully stocked so you do not have to leave. This simple solution of just-in-time supply system eliminated infections by 90% in hospital surgical rooms that employed it. Number two, measure. Another part of diligence is measurement. In the Vietnam War, when a soldier was wounded, their average time from field to the U.S. was 45 days. Today, it is 4 days. Gunshot mortality dropped from 16% in Vietnam to less than 5% today. The reason is not technology, it is in the process. Today there is FSUs, Forward Surgical Units. They follow the troop battalions. Now when a soldier is hurt, they perform many incomplete surgeries to make sure they live, and then the rest of the surgery is completed after. This seems counterintuitive, but it works. The key to understanding why FSUs work is to measure things. It became known that the time from wound to care is in direct correlation to life and death. Minimize the time, maximize life. Knowing this allows them to minimize the time in several areas. Number three, simplistic relentlessness. Ingenuity is bred from measurement and diligence. Once your eyes are open, then the solution appears. This is slight-edge daily behavior that creates huge results. Using simplistic relentlessness on identified problems creates explosive returns. This is the 80-20 rule on steroids. Most people would not look at the little things, but a simple checklist can save lives. A great quote from the book is, "What the best may have above all is the capacity to learn and change and do so faster than everyone else." To that end, I want to talk about the 5 recommendations to become a positive deviant. This is the term for using your ingenuity to solve complex problems. Number 1, ask unscripted questions. 2, don't complain. 3, count something. 4, write something. 5, change. These 5 things are designed to leverage the collective know-how. I hope you found this short video summary useful. The key to any new idea is to work in your daily routine until it becomes habit. Habits form in as little as 21 days. One thing you can take away from this book is count something. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. This is a big deal. Spend time and measure things that are important, especially if you need to solve a complex problem. If you enjoyed this video, then please do not hesitate to pass it along, and if you want more detail, then click on the link below and purchase Dr. Gawande's book, Better. Thanks for watching and have a great day.